Hey, I thought that this was a good opportunity um, to make a video since I'm sitting outside with my horse hat on, my legend hat, which was a gift from my my boo thing. Shout out to the Gurin brothers for this lovely hat that I love so very much, which was obviously prophetic because I hope my horse has a unicorn horn, and I've been thinking a lot about the horse, whether it'll be a boy or a girl, and how I will um, hope to connect with my horse. Um, I had like this thought that it would be like Avatar, that I would, take my hair, which I have none, and connect it to their tail, and we would somehow have a symbiotic, um, spiritual relationship, so that they don't drop me and I'm not afraid. I don't think I'll be afraid. I'm not afraid of horses, although I've never been on one. So that's kind of a thing, that I'll be on a horse for 10 days for 80 miles. But I've not yet ever been on one, at least not in my memory. My dad seems to think that I was on one, maybe at a birthday party as a kid, but I have no recollection. Um, so I think we're at 48 days now. I just came out of core power yoga, which, if this trip were 3 years ago at this time, I would have been feeling much, more physically ready for it. But pandemic, there's just been so much emotion in 2020, 2021, 2022 for me. I would say trauma and grief and loss and financial situations, and just so many things that I could point to that have kept me in a not great space. And so I'm not in the best physical, mental, emotional shape and I feel old. So I'm doing what I need to do at this point. Core power yoga is awesome, but this is the last week of my access. I did take yoga teacher training through them, and so I have access for till the end of March, which is just another week now. More on that whole thing later. I think their classes are phenomenal. I think as an organization, actually won a scholarship because they wanted to have some diversity nationally, which was a great, sometimes things are really good in their intention, but not so good in their implementation. Let's say that. There are no teachers of color, as far as I could see. After that, I was one of the only ones in the class. There were definitely people of Indian descent, but as far as people of other black people, let's put it that way, there weren't any in my class. I did recommend it to other people, so I do know that there is a woman in the current cohort, so maybe that will change. But that's not what I came on to talk about today, and it doesn't have anything to do with my trip, really. Although, maybe, because, I can't say that I haven't thought about, well, the very nature of my trip is I won a scholarship because the organization wants to promote diversity in these spaces, and I won the trip through Black Women Who Kayak, formerly known as Black Women Who Kayak, now known as Black Women Who. The organization was formed to help create, opportunities for Black women in spaces where they're not normally seen. So this is great, and I think it's great for me and for everyone who will see me in the space. I'm comfortable. I'm a person who's, not afraid to go into spaces that I'm not normally in. I've done it a lot. I've been in that situation so much in my life. So, I'm not afraid to do it. I often feel I'm aware of the things that happen in those spaces, and the emotion, and and the blatant and the overt and covert and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, I know how to ignore it, deal with it. Often, sometimes it's just a little bit too much, but I'm not adverse to going into the spaces. And so this is good for me. And even the woman who I'm going with said that she felt like it was going to be good because she knows I'm somebody who is willing, at least, to traffic in spaces where I'm the only. I don't know so much that I'm willing. I think that, if you want to live your life, you have to. And I live in Austin, which is a city where there's not a lot of diversity. So, it happens on a regular basis if you want to go out and enjoy the spoils of the city. It's a major complaint for people here that there isn't any diversity. And I always say to people in the 18 years that I've lived here, well, there's not going to be any diversity if you don't go to the places. So, but people don't have that mindset. So I often end up being the only one. And, now I found the only other black person who's often the only other one that's willing to traffic. I mean, there's a lot of us that are willing to do that, but, you have to be okay with that. A lot of people aren't okay with that, so that's why they live in cities like New York and DC and places where, and Houston, places where there are a lot more people of color. It is what it is, right? So I am welcome everywhere I go because I'm the one who does the welcoming. I'm the welcoming committee. So you could probably see this thing on my eye. I don't know if you could see it. I don't want to zoom in on it too much, but it's called a chalazion. It's actually a lot smaller than it was. I don't know why I have it. It could be from lashes. It could. I think that it's from the level of stress that I'm undergoing as of late, for so many reasons. But it's done a lot of damage to me mentally, emotionally, physically. It hurts. Might have to have it surgically removed, but I did go to the doctor, and the doctor told me to put a hot potato on it. So I've been potatoing my eye for the last couple of weeks. I've had it for about a month now, and it just makes me feel, I've been saying I look like a witch. And today's the first day I'm wearing my contacts, so I actually feel a little bit better being able to see my eyes because my glasses are so dark, but it's been good to hide behind it. I didn't go to work for the first 3 weeks. I went to work this week, and I was a little bit perturbed by somebody loudly pointing it out to me, but I felt it was like kind of like private, but it is what it is. So I had an agenda for this video, and then I kind of went all over the place. So, you're seeing a little bit of my ADD, ADHD, undiagnosed, I don't know, undiagnosed. I've got a lot of things that I believe are undiagnosed, but I don't know. What's the point of the diagnosis? Because I'm never going to take a pharmaceutical. That's kind of my thing. I don't know. I haven't gotten into that yet, but I am a natural person. Even though I'm not in the best of health, I do try to stay on the natural end of things. So anyway, I'm feeling good in the sun. I do think that the sun is healing, and I have been working indoors for the last 3 years, and I haven't been making an opportunity to do that. So now here I am making an attempt at getting more sun, and letting the sun bless this melanin caramel cream skin of mine. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some more sun and then drink some more water, and I'm on like a serious mission. So food, sleep, water, sun, I'm doing all the things in the remaining 48 days before I meet my stallion, my Pegasus, my Turok Maktu, and we fly off into the Red Desert together. So, all right. Peace.